Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I took the break I needed. I have to continue testimonies about the decline of society, the urgency to find Jesus, the impending doom for those that reject God. I probably don't discuss suffering enough because I've never felt that I do it very well, but it's been going on since I can remember because it's the way I was trained and raised that I could deal with later torture, which is disagreed upon, depending on religious and psychological, philosophical belief systems. Some people really want to believe that we can have non-suffering and be nearly the most perfect parents and pop out really functioning, productive humans of society. Please show me the true demographics of that group, the true percent population of highly functioning, moral, ethical humans roaming the earth, please. Please show me all of them. Okay, so we're going to backtrack. I'm going to try to stay on track. This has to do with how badly do I think that I'm tracked or stalked. That's all been labeled in a diagnostic so that nobody ever believes that I've been hunted down for a long, long time. Prior to my son and during. And I was told prior and during and after that I was nuts and that nobody, absolutely not one soul, was stalking me. And certainly not anyone in the government. But I just happen to have the police following me all the time. State to state, by the way, okay? People are like, go to this state, go over to that state. No, it didn't work. It didn't work. I can believe maybe there was another way to do it to make it work different, but it wasn't. That's not what was, for whatever reason, it's not what was meant to be. Maybe I'm forever cursed, and there's just no way to lift. That's all that this is. Who knows? God will reveal the truth one day. Is this. Shortly after the shutdowns and there was let-ups, I decided I was going to give it one last try. I should be able to do a last-minute ticket, travel a couple states, and stay in a hotel, learn some history about a city. It was mostly random. There was a couple publishers out that way. I was curious to kind of get the idea what they were like, but I'll be honest, that was mostly a cover. Immediately, I had someone tracking me on a train. Maybe she asked people after her, but it was something to do with the woman that raised me. I think I did kind of yell at her. It said I wasn't going to deal with fucking Anne's entourage anymore of her bullshit. Take your own fucking pill. Get a life. And, because this woman that raised me has been terrified since I could speak that I would expose how sick she was. It's the only reason she started the whole thing she did. She convinced a lot of people. I tell you what, I hold the keys to some of the sickest locks in this town. And I'm 51, so. And I have an impeccable memory for very evil things that I witnessed as a sneaky little child, trying to figure out how there was that many monsters in a roller skating rink all at once that looked adult. All right, well, outside of that, so I decided to do a quick trip. What's this story about? This is a story about the condition of our country. And whoever or whatever's after me, by the time I'm got the ticket set, I get to the hotel. Now, I pick a city where they have a really bad trafficking problem. I instantly feel it. I mean, it's pretty obvious. The minute I step off the train, and I'm really itching to get to the hotel because the train is not what it once was. It's kind of grungy, and there's lots of posters about trafficking. But it seems very poster child-like, too, because when you see that kind of advertising, because they do it in Michigan, when you call those numbers, you're liable to be tracked because these hotline numbers, when you witness human trafficking, is so that they know who can see. Now you're like, ooh, no, really, really. Some of us can't not see it. It's, be it we were, we don't need to diagnostic it. It's a gift from God. It'll probably help someone else somewhere along the line. Let's pray that's it. It is once you see, you can't unsee, but this is a different type of, it's kind of a scouting type of ability. It's kind of like also people that have to go out first to let everyone know what's really going on, but very seldom does anyone listen to them. But the few that do, and that they take that information and then they confirm it, deny it, falsify it, truthify it, whatever, wrong words, made up words. So I decided I'm just going to take a quick train ride to Pennsylvania, short trip. See some scenery. There's the river through there I love to see. I don't know if the spill had been recent, prior or after my trip. But there was a spill there, and this is what this story was supposed to be about, was the stupidity and the corruption of man, and the importance of us denying our government rights over us as land slave owners. It is not even by the time I could get my feet on the ground, get walked, scuttled to the motel. I tried to make sure to get one close enough to the train station because of safety. But the lurking started right away. So immediately I get in the hotel. This is about 2021. I really wish I had the right year, because it was just at the beginning of the opening, and technically not everything was open. But immediately the staff was changing my room, and they wanted to know specifically who was, if anyone was. It felt more like I was being treated like I was in a domestic violence shelter protection than I was just out to stay at a hotel for I think it was like 1 or 2 nights I was going to try to muster out. I ended up in a panic attack, by the way. It was horrifying. So it was the other test, is how far could I go away from home and figure out what is going on with this panic attack, because it had been going on far too long. And they were fewer in between, but it was still causing me a lot of problems. And so I thought this trip, just time alone, no dog care, no nobody care, just me, 2 days or whatever, and come home. No big problem. Well, it was a big problem, because the staff was coming to my room and moving me more than once, almost making it seem like that they didn't feel it was safe. But they wouldn't use that word. Just tighten the story up, because this is supposed to lead into nuclear, the chemical spill, the corruption of mankind, how dangerous it is. And this was like years ago. So this was before we left Brentwood, 2 years or more prior, and I take this wild train trip. I don't know, I went to DC, somewhere between there too, on a bus. It's really kind of meshing together. I just know you didn't really have to wear a mask. People would still prefer it, but the city was like a ghost town. And I picked up real quick the trafficking problem. And I was almost solicited twice for some strange, just to kind of lure me into like a riverboat situation. This was just outside the hotel. I wasn't staying in a shitty one either. So, I mean, it wasn't like maybe 5-star, but it was certainly close. I think it was decent. It had high floor, and they were keeping me in there, like keeping track of me. And I didn't listen. And I walked to the train station, and she was terrified. I left a day early. They'd moved my room. I mean, it was the worst feeling, and I really thought I wasn't going to make it out. I thought whoever had been sent they were going to find a back way in this hotel. So when I told her that I was going to leave early, they were thrilled. They did not want me walking to the train station by myself. I said, no, I really got to do this. And if, I would never put blame on anyone here. And I'm making this choice on my own. And I feel I need to go to the train station early and sit there and just sort this out, because this has been a terrible trip. And it ain't nothing to do with you as staff. It's that you made it loud and clear that I was in danger, but you wouldn't just state it. You wouldn't state that someone was calling, or someone was literally trying to come up and find me in the hotel. And I would have needed to know who these people were, or have a face or a name, something to take home, or call in with the imaginary corrupt government that's not corrupt, trying to hunt me down all the time. Okay, so it got so bad getting to the train that I almost was taken. Large Greek man. I hate to label it Greek, but man, it was I was getting a very strong Dominican Republican or Greek. It's not very closely related, but it was scary, and they looked just thrilled to see me. I mean, they were thrilled. And they were going to do this swoop thing. What is a swoop thing? Well, you just got to know the streets, I guess. Or God. You got to know Jesus. Because I wasn't raised in the street, so I had learned some stuff in my 20s, but it was vicariously through a breakdown. But I know it was God, and I yelled, and I did my Jesus thing, and immediately a cop or security came out. They got me swooped into the station, and then we did the report. But whatever everyone else knew, or they have their own little organized thing, right? With the station. Where was I? Harrisburg. One of the worst. Go ahead, be mad at me for being a dummy. No, I really wanted to understand this human trends. I wanted to understand the roots of why the train was so important to transport orphans and these shady operations, but it was covered in something else. So I'm not on the train long, and I'm not kidding. One of the conductors or whatever, the upper ones, was like, we really need you to get picked up in Pittsburgh. Can you arrange to be picked up in Pittsburgh? I said, are you kidding me? And he said, no, I'm not going to be able to. Like, whatever the dot your I's and cross your T's, Heather. I'm like, you're telling me you need me to get a pickup and get me off the train because you're not certain that you can what? So I got picked up in Pittsburgh. So I think the train wanted to lock me in one of the rooms or something. You know what? One of the, like, where I'm in a sleeper trapped. And I don't really care for them, so. I don't know, guys. So whenever that was, it was prior to getting here, and, oh, by the way, no, I didn't cure my panic attacks while I was in Pennsylvania. And so, and I already knew Pennsylvania was plagued with trafficking problems. I wanted to figure out what cities they had shut down and rerouted. So, call me crazy. I just wanted to see it in person. And boy, what an interesting setup with the train station, with the expressways. and how they slay, and you go each, and you gotta go that one. It's just the quickest crate. It's so easy. And then the airport's like boom, and it's just like bada bing, bada boom, swoop, boop. You know what I mean? It's quite outrageous. So, and it looks like just getting in, waddling in, because I would have been waddling then, is, I was almost in a swoop, you know what I mean? But, yep. You got a loud one here if it gets super scary, so I can't help it. And it's unfortunate, but I survived, potential torture. I was able to keep his hands off me with this screech from about Jesus, and it never left me, and it's caused a lot of problems. Technically, for violent types, rapist, predator men, they don't like to feel scared by God through a woman. They blame the woman. But they're actually fighting and raping and murdering God. Because God is creator. He makes woman. He made woman to carry life. So every time you rape and torture and poison, because they never cleaned up the poison in Pennsylvania, people are giving houses away. They're lying. They're lying to give the properties away still. It was a train, something or other, or a line, and it was real bad. And it contaminated all the water in the area. And they're opening 3 Mile Island for data centers. Do you enjoy your dystopia yet? Because it ain't getting no better. And if you don't know Jesus, you're still going to suffer, but it just gives you that much superhuman ability to survive it more. And at the end of the day, that's all any of us are doing. But knowing Jesus just really gives you that extra oomph. And there's plenty of people that were opposed 3 Mile Island. I would have been alive, but just like someone would say, I wouldn't remember. Oh, I remember. Because I was raised in a very strange household, unorthodox, and they wouldn't have maybe known that I understood what was being viewed. And I also snuck and watched end of world nuclear holocaust type warning video movies from back when, and I think that they were probably made by Holy Rollers, but it was the depiction of just this stuff just gets, there's more than one of those, and people ended up in these pods. They had to live in these pods. They couldn't really go outside, but they still had to get sun. And my mouth didn't go up that way. That's something fucking with the camera or the shadow, is they couldn't go outside anymore. The air, and then they had to figure out how to process the air intake so that it was safe to breathe in these pods. And they were eating wheatgrass and stuff, wheatgrass juice and things like these things to stay alive. But there wasn't really any good protein for the brain and other functionings, and people were getting sick and kids weren't making it. And I snuck these shows that were on late or whatever. I couldn't sleep, and I had to stay up for reasons I'm not going to discuss anymore. They don't care about us, all right? The only one that cares about you is Creator God. If they cared about us, there would be no even thought of ever reopening 3 Mile Island. it would be sacrilegious. To me, that's like some sick, demented stuff. That's like reopening the Holocaust. Just to see if maybe it doesn't hurt anyone. Maybe just a lower dose of the gas, you know what I mean? The chemicals, maybe nobody will fully die. Maybe we can just make them live just enough, keep enough life in them so they work and keep the wheels grinding away. Pay their taxes. And let the government rape children right under our nose. And protect child rapists and murderers right under your nose, while putting up toxic wastelands of more data centers, radiation, holocaust on the human race. All for what? Show me the money. So, you think that's all dark? We can't avoid suffering, but Jesus is the light. I know it sounds like some kind of stupid idea. I'm telling you right now, He is the light. He is the light. He is the light. And you don't have to have a church. You don't have to have a cave. It's right here. It's right here with you, always. When you're tortured, He's tortured. When you're crying, He's crying. When you can't take it anymore, He's comforting you. When you're pretty sure you don't have the strength to go through any more false documents and inspections and investigations on your psyche, then, but you still go. You still go. You still get up. You still heal up. You still go the other mile. You still try to crawl the half mile. You even cry out and you say, God, I can't even crawl a half mile. Take me now. Take me now. Does He take you? Does He take you? No, He don't take you. He might make it harder. He might make it rougher. He might put you in more physical pain until you finally, once again, appreciate the life that He gave you. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? I don't mean a punishment. I mean, are you bearing the cross or are you not? Are you bearing the cross or not? Are you filling the gap for the victims or not?